Peace be upon you. God willing, wanted to continue on the series of talking about things to be appreciative for. And again, this is a shorter podcast, and it's a kind of a mini series that we're doing. If you haven't listened to the podcast before, highly recommend to check out some of the longer versions. But what we're trying to do here is to just pick an item, anything that typically we take for granted that we use on a daily basis, that we don't necessarily spend the time to be appreciative for, to thank God for what a blessing it is to have. And God willing, this week wanted to talk about the concept of a washing machine. And it sounds funny, but in the past, having clean clothes was a real blessing. What a lot of people used to do is they'd have like a cotton cloth shirt or kind of like a jumpsuit that they would wear underneath their clothes, and they'd wear their more luxurious clothes on the top because it was so difficult to wash clothes. And that process of washing clothes required very, kind of like backbreaking labor. People would have to go and they would have these giant buckets and they'd pour water, and typically they would use either lye or actually, again, they would use urine. And we talked about that in the last podcast, but urine has a lot of ammonia, which helps to remove stains, and so they would use urine to clean their clothes. And this is something that if you think about today is just like, it would seem absolutely absurd. You can walk into a grocery store and you see all the aisles of different kind of fabric softeners and laundry detergents and all these products that you have to basically clean your clothes and do it the most efficiently and to tailor it to your exact taste. Whatever it is, fragrant or what cotton blend you're using or fabric you're using to be able to have that. And then in addition, it's like it's no longer backbreaking work, right? You can go and put all your dirty clothes in a hamper. You walk down, if you have a washer dryer in the house, which a lot of people do, or if you don't, you go to a laundromat and you put your clothes in there and you push a couple buttons, and then boom, 30 minutes, an hour later, you got perfectly washed, clean clothes. Now, in the past, someone had to do this manually. They would have these tables that they would go and they would rub the clothes against, and they would have these giant buckets of water with this staff that they would slush everything around, and this was a manual process. And now by God's leave we go there and a machine does it for us. And you think about even the aspect of having that electricity to power that the the washer, and then afterwards, if you want to air dry, by all means, you can do it on a clothesline. Or if you need something sooner and you want to again put in some dryer sheets to make it smell even better, you can put it into a dryer, and it's going to tumble dry. And within minutes, let's say depending on how much clothes you have, say 30, 60 minutes, you have perfectly clean, dried clothes for you to wear. No more using of strange substances like urine to wash your clothes, and you can basically set the settings on most washing machines these days for delicates or something that's more requires a more rigorous cycle. And what an absolute blessing this is that we have this technology available for us, and just how convenient God has made it for us. That we can focus on other things. There's something known as the division of labor. Because someone has developed the washing machine and the dryer, we can go and spend our time on more productive tasks. This isn't something that we have to go and spend an entire day to go and get our clothes clean and deal with all the hardships and the work that's required. This is something that we can do passively, right? I can go and start a load and go off, run errands, and come back and fold my clothes, and I'm done with that. And there's actually people are working on machines to fold clothes to automate that process as well. And this is all something, again, to just be absolutely appreciative for. The laundry room is typically somewhere in a lot of homes that are kind of blocked off, where you don't ponder. But next time you walk past a washer dryer, you walk past a laundromat, just be appreciative of God. Be thankful for God for being able to provide this, that we live in a time and an age where this is a technology that we can use. This is a technology to make our lives that much easier. And, by doing this, the responsibility is because now we have, the question is how to use your time productively. Now that these, quote unquote, mundane tasks are being taken care of for you, you can go and focus on other things. And, one other note in regards to this is, we think about washing and drying on a consumer level, but then also on an industrial level. Anyone who spent time in a hotel, what a blessing that they have nice, clean, sheets or towels that are available. And if you ever get a chance to look at one of these industrial washing machines that they have, it's pretty awesome. They're massive and they can wash tons and tons of clothes or towels and stuff simultaneously to make sure that all the germs, the viruses, bacteria, and stuff like that are eliminated. So you have a nice, fresh, clean towel and sheet when you get to the hotel. And again, all this is things for us to be appreciative for. It makes it easier for us to travel. Imagine if you had to travel, you had to bring your own, sheets and your own towels. How much more of a nuisance that would be. Now you can just, jump on a plane, you get there, and everything is perfectly made for you. And these are all items that we should always be appreciative for. We should never go throughout our day without finding, literally an innumerable amount of items to be appreciative for, things to be appreciative for. And in twice in the Quran, God tells us that in 1434 it reads, "And he gives you all kinds of things that you implore him for. If you count God's blessings, you can never encompass them. Indeed, the human being is transgressing, unappreciative." And in 16:18 it says, "If you count God's blessings, you cannot possibly encompass them. God is forgiver, most merciful." So, there's no way we're going to be able to encompass all of God's blessings, but for the ones that, we interact on such a regular basis, let's take a moment and just reflect. And next time you're, doing a load of laundry or folding clothes, as opposed to thinking of this as a nuisance, just use that time to reflect, to be appreciative of God, to be thankful for God for being able to provide you, clean clothes of all these different, blends and fabrics that you can conveniently throw into a wash and then be able to wear, within a couple hours, as opposed to in the past of having to go through all this hardship and kind of like more difficult kind of task to be able to get those clean clothes. So God willing, we're going to end there. If you guys got any comments or questions, hit us up at QuranTalk@gmail.com. Would love to hear your feedback about this kind of appreciation mini-series, or send us a note on Twitter at TalkQuran. And until next time, peace and God bless.